So a few Eagles spoke yesterday for the first time this offseason and dropped some very interesting hints about expected changes on offense that all stem from new offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo. Plus, with Nick Sirianni now inked, the Birds are shifting their attention to the next contract extensions in line. Oh, and the Tush Push vote just came down, and it might actually be good news for the Birds. I'm Thomas Mott, this is the Thomas Mott Show. I really think the scariest thing you can do as a defending Super Bowl champion is spend the entire offseason actually trying to get better. Find a way to improve in your biggest areas of weakness, or at least add a new wrinkle the opposing teams won't see coming. Because I can assure you, every single game the Eagles play in 2025 is going to come against a team looking to actually try and upset and dethrone the Kings. Which is why I absolutely loved what I heard yesterday out of the Novacare complex when Nick Sirianni and a few other Eagle captains spoke to the media for the first time this offseason and hinted at some key upcoming changes. And speaking of the Novacare complex, well, we officially have a date for our Philly Dawgs meet and greet. Myself, Josh Davis, and a couple of you guys, the subscribers. It's going to be next Tuesday on May 27th. Now we know the date, but not the time yet. Still waiting on the Eagles to finalize this whole thing right now. But of course, we're going to pick a couple of subscribers to go ahead and join us. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and drop a like, and let me know down below if you're free next Tuesday. Josh and I are planning on tonight's live stream to give the full details. So make sure you guys go ahead and join. Notification bell, the way you know whenever we go live. Now, I do think the biggest change of the Eagles' entire offseason that we didn't really talk about too much was the departure of offensive coordinator Kellen Moore and the promotion of passing game coordinator Kevin Patullo to be the Birds' new OC. And although we haven't heard much from Kevin Patullo, he's been working a ton behind the scenes. Sounds like the Birds' offensive players are really enjoying his communication style in the few meetings they've had so far.
He's awesome. Great communicator. Just very detailed, very open, very approachable. So it makes it easy for us to come to him with ideas.
Me and him always had a great relationship anyway. And he's been doing a great job stepping in with the team. He's just leading the meetings now more. But he's been doing a great job, I should say again. And our relationship is great. So
Coach Patullo he's been here throughout the journey as well. He's had a different position. Always played a pivotal role in what we've done. And I think he's got a great mentality and a great approach coming into everything right now. And so the bigger picture is just taking it a day at a time, truly. Keeping the main thing. And I think that's where we are.
Also, by now, you probably already talk about one of my favorite recurring sponsors on my channel in Bombas. And if you have not checked out their clothing yet, I gotta tell you, they are the most comfortable things I've ever worn. And this video probably explains it the best because I was boarding my flight to go on a vacation, long 8-9 hour flight over to Greece. My wife pointed out that I was wearing a Bombas t-shirt and socks, and I said, okay, wait a second, film this just to prove to everybody I wear this stuff all the time. And come on, the most comfortable clothes you could possibly wear when you're on a flight over 9 hours to Europe. The t-shirts are probably my favorite because they're just so darn soft, they're super lightweight and extremely breathable. And I've officially replaced all of my old socks with Bombas because nothing compares to the comfort. And let's say you live outside the United States right now, well, even more good news, Bombas now ships internationally to over 200 countries. So really, no matter where you live, you can finally get your hands on them. And as always, for every item you buy, Bombas donates one to someone in need, including shelters, rehab centers, and hospitals. For instance, socks, underwear, and tees are the most requested items in shelters. So you can feel good and do good at the exact same time by checking out bombas.com/Thomas Mott to get 20% off your first order. Use my promo code Thomas Mott at checkout, link down below in the description box. Helps the channel, helps people out, and helps you get comfortable. I gotta tell you guys, Bombas is fantastic. Check them out today. But of course, communication, it's one thing, but how quickly can you actually get the guys to buy into your scheme and have success? I mean, if we take away Kellen Moore's one-hit wonder season in 2024, where he went from a newly hired offensive coordinator to Super Bowl champion in less than a year, the Birds' most recent first-year OCs have all had some serious struggles. Starting, of course, with Brian Johnson, who I only have to tell you was clearly not the right man for the job based on the Birds' offensive performance in 2023. But even Johnson aside, before him, Shane Steichen, we all agree, very successful OC, really great during his tenure, but its inaugural season in 2021, the Birds finished middle of the pack in total offense and dead last in passing yards. Yes, it was rookie Jalen Hurts, but still not great. And the list honestly goes on and on. Go back to Mike Groh, his first year as OC, 2018. Team was 9-7. They were decent, double doink, and could have won the playoff game, but again, not fantastic. And even names like Frank Reich, who again, we all absolutely loved, won a Super Bowl. His rookie season, though, with rookie quarterback Carson Wentz, they only had 7 wins in 2016. And I know all the guys I just mentioned all had a rookie quarterback or an injury or something going on that initial season, but still, becoming an offensive coordinator and having instant success in the NFL, I know we just saw it this past year in Philadelphia, but Kevin Patullo has got a lot of work ahead of him to make sure that he also has success in his rookie season. And his leash is going to be pretty darn short because he has the same exact elite offense that won a Super Bowl a year ago. Anything worse than 2024's performance is going to be a huge failure. And honestly, the same amount of production could still be underwhelming. He really needs to take this current offense, adapt it, improve it, and make it better. And according to the Birds yesterday, during their media press conferences, he's been doing just that.
He has a very good feel of what they do and what they do well. And so you always want to do what they do best. You always want to keep things in that you've done well, that you want to continue to grow and dress up a little bit, and then also some new wrinkles that kind of mesh to that, and then you have some things that it might be brand new.
There's some nuances that are different. I know in the past I gave a number, on that matter, but things evolve and things change as time goes on, and so we're just really bought into that. That's an important thing. I think that's something that I've learned as well, is you have to be able to evolve as time goes on. And so, given Coach Kevin Patullo and his new role now, and him being the one in charge of offensive leadership, it's still early in the process. It's still early in building this thing that we want it to be. Ultimately, it'll be a collaborative effort, and it'll take everybody just to be on that same page again to see what the iteration of this team will be.
But I do know we have to evolve as a team, evolve as an offense, and I think that's a question for KP, honestly. And for me, my job is just to focus on whenever I get those opportunities, just make the most of them. And that's pretty much, that's my box. That's the box I'm going to stay in.
Now, we know he's going to put his own little wrinkle on it. The Eagles themselves just said that. But what's the big thing that I think we're going to see in terms of a change in 2025? I think it's going to be the passing game. I've said this before, but for as great as Philadelphia was running the football last season, and yes, they were literally the best in the entire NFL, the passing attack at times did struggle. Not a ton, but we all know it. There were moments. We kind of just have forgotten about them because of how impressive it was during the Super Bowl run. And I'm not discounting the rushing attack at all. I think if Saquon Barkley can run for 200 yards a game, you run Saquon Barkley for 200 yards a game. What if you could have Saquon Barkley running for 200 yards a game and one of the elite passing attacks in the entire NFL combined every single week? I mean, Kevin Patullo, after all, was the passing game coordinator the past couple of seasons. All he's done, technically by his job description, has been working on Philadelphia's ability to throw the football. And surely by now, he's seen enough Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown and this offense to see what the Birds need to improve and what can be done to actually elevate the statistically third worst passing offense in the league last year. And this by no means is me knocking Nick Sirianni or Jalen Hurts or A.J. Brown or the offense this past season. Again, they ran first and then they threw when needed. I'm just saying, if you could take the 30th ranked passing offense with the number one rushing attack, turn it into the number one rushing attack with the 15th best passing offense, 13th best passing offense, that is going to be so much better than the elite offense we saw last year. I don't think Eagle fans could really even believe what it would actually look like. And I do hope next week during the first round of OTAs, we get some sort of glance at the offensive changes while the Birds are officially practicing on the same field in the NovaCare complex again next week. My hope for the Eagles offense this year is absolutely sky high. Stay top in rushing and just improve the passing game 5%, 10%, 15%, as Kevin Patullo likely knows how to do, and you're going to see an Eagle offense we've not seen in a very long time. Now, of course, the big shocker of the entire day, and maybe the entire year, is the fact the NFL officially sat down this morning to vote on banning the Tush Push, despite every single media outlet telling us it was guaranteed to be banned. The vote actually failed, with 10 teams voting against the Packers' proposal, meaning the brotherly shove is here to stay. And I, for one, am absolutely shocked. I've been saying for weeks that it was guaranteed they were going to ban this thing because every other media outlet was saying they have the votes, Roger Goodell hates it, they're going to get rid of it. And yet here we are today, the Eagles can brotherly shove to their heart's content anytime they want going forward. And it appears the driving force behind the Eagles winning this ruling, I think, was Birds owner Jeffrey Lurie, reportedly talked in front of the committee this morning for over 30 minutes as to why the play should remain, including using the NFL's own data that showed 0 injuries from the play in 2024. Also alongside Lurie today was Eagles lead witness Jason Kelce, who flew to Minneapolis and spoke in defense of the play, which he detailed on his podcast last night because apparently there was a rumor going around that he retired because he did not like running the Tush Push.
So there were some things said at the last owners meeting. Some of the owners and coaches hinted that the reason I stopped playing was because of the Tush Push and that I got hurt on the Tush Push frequently.
What the f***?
I'm just going to answer any questions people have about my partaking in this play. I don't care whether it gets banned or not. I think that at the end of the day, this is why you vote on things. And if they vote to ban the Tush Push, the Eagles are still going to run quarterback sneak at a very high percentage.
92% exactly.
I'm just going to offer any type of if anybody has any questions about the Tush Push or whether I retired because of the Tush Push, I'll tell you this right now. I'll come out of retirement today if you tell me all I got to do is run 80 Tush Pushes to play in the NFL. I'll do that gladly.
It's crazy to me that we even got to this point because it's been so darn obvious that the league is just bitter. The Eagles are actually better than everyone else at a play that anybody could use. And what's funny is even if they had banned pushing Jalen Hurts into tush today, Philadelphia would have just lined up and ran a standard quarterback sneak, which they did many times, as you see on your screen right here, pre-brotherly shove with nearly identical success. I do wonder if we would even be voting on this today if Matthew Stafford would have ended the Birds' season on that final playoff drive in the snow in Philly, but of course he didn't. Philadelphia would win that game and go on to actually win the Super Bowl, causing teams like the crybaby Packers to try to ban the play because they couldn't stop it. I think we can get 3,000 likes down below on this video right now for the brotherly shove staying, and let me know if you think Philadelphia should run the tush push against Green Bay on the road this coming season like a billion times just to rub it in their face. Now, the other key rule the NFL was set to vote on today was, of course, the Lions' proposed playoff seeding changes due to their embarrassing loss to the Commanders last January, which would make winning your division not the most important thing, and instead just winning every single game actually what matters, which I said a couple of days ago was a terrible rule change because divisions have to matter. Beating the Cowboys twice has to matter. Just because you're, say, the Minnesota Vikings last year and you won 14 games but couldn't win your division, we should not reward a team for doing that. Well, in a shocking turn of events, the Lions actually tabled the vote today due to basically a lack of support, meaning they did not have enough votes. So winning your division is still just as important today and will be going forward as it's always been. And that's a good thing. Now, moving back to Nick Sirianni and his contract extension the other day, he officially met with the media again on Tuesday and was asked about the details of the extension, but he did not give us the dollar amount or, more importantly, the length of the contract. So not really sure how long he's going to be in Philadelphia or for how much. But what I absolutely love was hearing from the guys like Jalen Hurts and Jordan Mailata about just how happy they are for Nick, how much they respect him as their current head coach.
First and foremost, congratulations to him. Everything that he's been able to achieve and accomplish, he's earned. And just to see his evolution and his growth from my perspective and playing quarterback for him, his whole entire tenure here, it's been a great experience, been a great ride. It's been a lot of learning for the both of us, and hopefully we're just getting started.
I just want to give him his flowers. I mean, he's done a phenomenal job. Phenomenal job building the culture of this locker room. And it's no surprise that he got a, multi-year contract? Does anybody know what it was worth?
Not yet.
Just want to know. I was just asking, but
Multi-millions.
But, you know, I'm not surprised. All the scrutiny that he's gotten, and to be able to come back every year and preach the message, but also correct his mistakes and show accountability. He's always me first, then you. And when you have a coach who allows even the players, it's not coaching-led. He says too, it's not coaching-led, it's player-led. He gives us our space to be able to create that culture as well. And we feed off that. We bounce off each other.
It's crazy we were at a point just this past season where they lose to the Bucs, and it's like, does Jalen Hurts hate Nick Sirianni? Has he lost the locker room? And then now, a Super Bowl later, contract extension later, and all the top players in Philadelphia are raving about the head coach. It's just so refreshing and so good to hear. Oh, and speaking of extensions for a second, the next in line for one, I think, has to be Howie Roseman. We actually forget Roseman signed a 3-year extension back in 2022. Which, do the math, and that means 2025 is technically his last year under contract. I'm kind of surprised his extension did not get announced the same time Sirianni's did this week, but here's to hoping Howie Roseman gets inked sometime in the near future because you do not want this guy hitting the open free agent market. I also think the next Eagle in line for an actual extension on the football field has got to be safety Raive Blankenship. He played the entire 2024 NFL season on about $3.5 million, and this season it's virtually the same. And while sure, you can argue he isn't the best safety in the National Football League, which maybe is fair, I do think he is grossly underrated and definitely loved by his teammates. If the best safeties in the NFL right now make $18 to $20 million a year, Raive is worth at least half that, right? I'd be shocked if he actually plays the entire 2025 season, making less than his current $4 million a year contract. Man, what a day. It's unbelievable. The Tush Push is here to stay. There's no stupid playoff ruling, and Philadelphia's offense, as we talked about at the beginning of the show, it's going to be pretty darn good. We're going to talk about this and a whole bunch more during our Wednesday Link Live this evening, a little earlier, I think 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Hopefully going to have all the details, if the Eagles tell us, we're waiting on an email back from them, of course, our meetup with the Philly Dawgs next week at the NovaCare Complex. How to enter, go ahead and subscribe, notification bell, join our live tonight. Thomas Mott, what a day. This has been the Thomas Mott Show.